Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Haas Show, powered by the MM Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Danae, and alongside Charlie Hossack, we are Mike and the Haas. Charlie, dog.
Morning.
We're on a nice stretch.
Yeah.
We're on a nice stretch. Oh, yeah, and the Red Sox can't lose.
Red Sox, so good. So good. And the weather has been amazing. It's been hot, and I like hot. And we're both getting excited, right? Because we're both doing a little bit of traveling.
We're gonna be doing the show remotely.
Yeah. We did that last year.
We figured it out. We've done it from Europe. We've done it.
Yeah, I've done it from
Canada.
I've done it from Florida.
We've done it from Florida.
Yeah.
So
And this year I'm going to be doing it from South Carolina.
I'm going to be doing it probably from somewhere in the Atlantic.
Somewhere in the Atlantic, because you're going to be on a cruise.
Yes. So
that's going to be awesome.
Looking forward to it. So we're going to do some things, some usual things today, but at the end, we're building this up. And so, Dog, in next week's show, we're going to be doing the Mount Rushmore of unbreakable records. But we're going to kind of set it up today. I have a whole bunch of outrageous things, records, and we're going to compare some different ones, see which one do you think would be more unbreakable. So to get in your minds for next week, it's going to be the Mount Rushmore of unbreakable
so
records.
the top four.
Top four.
I don't know if I know you were there with me, and I know that Dog was part of it, but I'm hoping that some of the listening audience listens to Frank FM, because we were on live for just about
54 seconds.
Yeah, 54 seconds with CJ, which was cool. But they were doing something special down the other day down at Bailey's Bubble, who we love because Bailey's Bubble sponsors our New Hampshire section. They were giving away free ice cream through Breeze Line, which was really cool. So it was nice to go down there and see CJ and get on Frank FM.
Excellent. Where else you can get ice cream is the Yum Yum Shop. And Mike in the House is powered by the Yum Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro. And can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar. And, of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yumyumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss to receive 20% off the Gingy Box. Now, you can catch our show live on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and we thank the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for that. And also, you can follow us on X.
You can find us on X. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and as you said, Facebook and YouTube.
And in the New Hampshire Sports section, we have a viewer question or a listener question.
Yeah, we have a listener. A listener sent a question in on social media.
It's a great one.
We're gonna address the question live today.
So you certainly can do that. All right, opening takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike in the Hospitality Box during happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m.
Earlier this week on Overtime with Mike and the Hoss, we talked a little bit about the trade deadline. We talked about some other stuff too, but we talked about the trade deadline. And so we're going to go into more of it this weekend. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up was that the Red Sox, they lost the trades. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By value-wise, they lost the trades. And I had put sometimes you have to lose to win.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that I can remember where a team like the Red Sox in Boston and so on went for it, understanding that they lose those trades. They lose the value of the trade, but that's okay, because are the Red Sox better today than they were before?
Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes you need to lose to win, as odd as that sounds. But, yeah, you're right. The Red Sox are a better team today than they were prior to the August 3rd trade deadline.
So, recap real quick. They picked up the Wilson out of San Francisco. They traded for Marcelo Mayer, who was probably more of an addition by subtraction in terms of Marcelo Mayer. There's a lot of stories now coming out about Marcelo Mayer. Yeah. He had some thoughts about the Red Sox and how they were treating him once he reached San Francisco. Mm-hmm. He's from there. It's probably a better location for him anyway.
California boy.
He's a California boy. And but it didn't seem like he was helping this team on or off the field.
Yeah, agreed with that.
And then they traded 3 of their top 5 prospects. I'm going to talk about that in a second for Adley Rush.
Say it, Doug. Say it, Doug.
Rushman.
Adley Rushman.
Thank you.
Rushman.
Who was the former number 1 pick in the draft. I think it was 2021. He was the former number 1 pick and
Three-time All-Star.
3-time All-Star. His career has not been on an upward trajectory, though.
No.
He is certainly coming back to the pack in terms of he's more of considered a middling catcher, even though he's much better than the catchers that the Red Sox have now, and Connor Wong or no longer Carlos Tavares.
Yeah.
So I think the ceiling for Rushman is really exciting for the Red Sox. They also have him under control for the next couple of years. That also helps. And when it comes to the prospects, and I said they gave up 3 out of the top 5 prospects.
Right.
The way the Red Sox value their prospects, I have zero respect for. And so that's all relative. And they compare it to that. And we're going to get to later. We're going to talk about the Dodgers. But what the Dodgers gave up for Tarik Skubal, and they gave up their number 5 prospect and a bunch of other guys that were really way down the depth chart. That number 5 prospect might be better than all of the Red Sox prospects combined.
True. Yeah.
You know, it is very relative. And the Red Sox are notorious for overhyping their guys. Like Marcelo Mayer, who really didn't do anything in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Kristen Campbell, who is down in the minors.
Yeah.
Brian Bayu, who is a long reliever for the.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's okay. I'll give him credit. He's doing, if he stays there and is doing what he's doing, that's going to help this team.
yes, but they were not hyping up a middle of the game.
No, they were hyping him up.
Reliever.
They were hyping him up as a starter.
You know, they had him as, mini Pedro.
Sure.
What they were talking about. So the hype is not matching the.
And then you have, I'm hoping the hype for Roman Anthony is there. Obviously he's injured, but we haven't seen him, other since the World Baseball Classic when he was unbelievable.
The hype matched the World Baseball Classic.
Sure.
It has not matched what he's done in a Red Sox uniform.
Right.
So the hype is matching the talent, but I'm interested to see, and we're going to talk about the Red Sox themselves later and what they're doing again, after, winning 16 in a row.
Yeah.
15 in a row. 15 in a row.
Yeah, 15 in a row.
What they're doing again against top competition.
Yeah.
Maybe not this weekend, by the way. They're on later this afternoon. They're playing the A's, so I would not qualify them as top competition this year. 3:10 pregame, 4:10 first pitch on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
But these are the games, Mike, the A's, for example, these are the games that the Red Sox need to make sure they take advantage of. These are the games that these are the must wins. Like the fact that they're going in there and they're beating these top teams. They beat the first place Chicago White Sox, right? But you want to make sure you don't lose it against the A's.
They did better against the Dodgers than they did against the A's.
Yeah,
a week and a half ago.
Right.
They're like 13-0 against the Dodgers, the Yankees, pick your other first place teams.
Chicago White Sox.
Yeah. Toronto. I mean, what they're doing is historic. We'll talk about that part later. But ultimately, they went for it. They went to the trade deadline. They addressed one definite hole in terms of the catcher position. And I know you like Connor Wong, but
but Connor Wong's not an everyday catcher.
They strengthened their bullpen.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what they did.
Yeah.
Now they didn't address second base.
No, but Trevor Story.
No, keep him away from this team.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying this team.
Listen, I don't work for the team, but the team and Trevor Story. I mean, looks like he's getting healthy. So it looks like he will be returning.
No, I'm digging in. No, do not let Trevor Story come back to this team. I want to, after our third section, we're going to talk about the Red Sox and the philosophical change that they did middle of the season.
I don't. And we can maybe save it, but I don't disagree with you. I mean, I like Trevor Story. I know you don't, but you're right. You probably don't want to bring him into the mix now. It'd be probably the similar conversation we'd have if Roman Anthony were healthy, or Tristan Casas, or like you'd have to have these conversations. Like you don't want to upset what good is happening now, because the minute you inject something different, the entire system changes.
I'm a hard no on Trevor Story. Is there more than a hard no on Tristan Casas?
No. Of course there is.
He had surgery on his wrist a couple of days ago, so I don't think we're going to see him. But I am so much more of a hard no on him.
Yeah,
I'm not a hard no on Anthony. and maybe I can explain that later.
Okay.
All right, I don't want to do yours, but let's
I
do
know-
yours.
I know you don't wanna
because
do mine.
Every single time we get
I
it,
just wanted
this
to-
pops in the news. You've got to talk about it.
I don't need it, and I need to talk about this. And I knew this was going to frustrate you, and it wasn't the intent to frustrate. And I'm not here to debate this. I'm just here to share information because everybody else is talking about it. So Mike in the Haas should talk about it. So Clay Travis, he's a political commentator. He's a sports journalist. He was the founder of Outkick. Outkick is a sports commentary website. And yes, Mike, it's run by Fox News.
Yep.
All right. So I know that
what,
you're going to
what,
ask
a,
about
what a
that.
surprise.
So what's going on? And you probably saw this with the WNBA, kind of surrounding Sophie Cunningham over the past couple weeks. Sophie Cunningham, in an interview, said that she wanted to protect girls, prevent males from competing in women's sports, and keep locker rooms exclusively female. The outrage from many prominent personalities around the league was fierce and immediate. We saw that. We saw that with some of the coaches and some of the owners. All right, what Clay Travis has proposed is that he'll offer up $10 million, and he selected the Las Vegas Aces because they're the champions. That the Las Vegas Aces play a high school basketball team, specifically like a state champ team, a good basketball team, not just your run-of-the-mill basketball team, and that the winning team he would pay $10 million. It's crazy. It's absurd. And this is what Clay Travis said. He said, sometimes the best way to respond to absurdity is to accept the absurd premise and advance it further to a larger degree of absurdity. Everyone with a functional brain knows that men are bigger, stronger, and faster than women, and that the whole reason women's sports exists is so women can compete, because if they just had unisex sports, men would take all the sports and there would be no women's sports. So I said, as a way to point out this absurdity, I will give $10 million to a boys' high school team playing against WNBA champion Las Vegas Aces. Now, there's no way the WNBA is going to ever accept this offer. It's not going to happen. But it just kind of brings up that conversation as to who should play in the WNBA, who shouldn't play. And it's this ongoing debate about should men be playing in women's sports. That's all. And you've probably seen the other stuff, the latest stuff with the transgender basketball player in France.
Mm-hmm.
I think the name is Julie Tart, or I can't speak French. And 34-year-old who decided to become transgender pretty much after puberty, all this, age 21, 24, and is an absolute stud and is crushing the professional basketball league in France.
Yeah, and first of all, Clay Travis is probably one of the most hateful people that are out there in media. So I'm not going to dignify anything.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to comment about that. Yeah.
But I'll leave that at that.
I'm going to let you respond. But the one thing, who's in agreement with Clay Travis that you may feel a little bit like I really like? Stephen A. Smith. Interesting. He's coming out saying the absurdity and is agreeing with Clay Travis in this situation.
The example of the basketball player in France.
Yeah.
I've certainly been on record with Leah Thomas. I didn't agree with what Leah Thomas did when she, at 20 years old.
Because Leah Thomas had competed the year before in the men's team.
Right. Yeah. I don't support that kind of stuff. I do support transgender from a very young age that have moved
prior to puberty.
And as far as Sophie Cunningham's comments, she clarified some of the stuff that she said, that there's a place for everybody.
Sure.
And that she was specifically looking at privacy in the locker room for young women. And I appreciate that part. I do appreciate that part. And I appreciate her clarifying that she's not against transgender. She's wasn't clearly saying that she was against transgender in sports. It was that more about protecting the privacy of women in the locker room. And so I think that that's important to clarify her comments, because she did get a lot of backlash for it.
Mm-hmm.
She got a lot of backlash.
Still continuing to.
And I guess we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So it's out there. That debate is going to, whether you like it or not, and not you personally, but we're going to have to deal with it. We're going to hear about it, and it's going to continue probably to ramp up. I just think it's forget the issue for a second. I just think it's another black eye for the WNBA. Like we really wanted to build this league up. Like we were really excited about it. We've talked about Caitlin Clark and some of the great basketball players that play in the league, and they just don't know how to get out of their own way. And they create more and more controversy and alienate fans they're alienating fans left and right. And it's not like it's the NFL, Mike, where you're like, okay, if I tick off 10 fans, who cares? Because I get another 100 fans that are going to come on board. There aren't a lot of people that are banging down the doors to support the WNBA. And those of us that do, and I would consider myself someone that enjoys women's basketball, that I want to like the WNBA. I just feel like they're always stepping in it.
I would agree with that. They can't afford to touch that third rail, and they keep doing it. And that's a problem for the WNBA. They need to be as vanilla gets to bring in as many fans as they can.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not what's happening. All right. We're a little bit over. We're going to go to break. When we come back on New Hampshire Sports, I want to talk obviously about the viewer question,
yes,
the listener question, because I want to start doing more of that.
Yeah.
But also what's going on in Major League Baseball.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire. It's time for New Hampshire Sports, brought to us by Bailey's Bubble.
Family owned and operated, Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you.
We have a listener question,
Yeah.
and somebody put it on our social media. And where can they put listener questions on social media for us, Charlie?
The best way to do it on social media is Facebook is probably the easiest way. They can do it on Instagram. They could do it on X.
They could do it. They
can
get to us, and I would like to have more of this because
absolutely.
This is fun to address.
So once again, Facebook, X, Instagram, those are perfect. TikTok, we're on that. So yeah. All right. So listener question. This question obviously is hypothetical, but I'm hoping it's not hypothetical because I'm hoping the Red Sox are going to win the World Series. So this is what it says. If the Red Sox win the World Series, should Alex Cora and the other coaches who were fired receive a ring? So hypothetically, the Red Sox win the World Series. Does Alex Cora and the coaches that were fired get a ring?
What can you go over what the rule is first? What the general rule is as far as who gets the ring?
So yeah,
the automatics.
So the automatics, according to Major League Baseball, are active roster players and coaches, the manager and the general manager, injured or traded players. So, for example, Marcelo Mayer, if the Red Sox win, he'll get a ring. That as an example.
And Carlos Navarro's would get
sure.
a ring.
Yeah.
So, starting with those two, if you were in their position, is that a ring that you would display proudly?
No, I don't think so. And especially since I understand that Carlos Navarro's maybe. He played half a season.
Do you think Nomar Garciaparra shows off the ring that he got for the 2004 Red Sox?
Probably not. It's not. Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where you get the ring, but yeah, you're probably not going to wear it on your finger.
No,
because you truly weren't part of it, especially as you went into October.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that we're talking about as far as guys that were traded away.
Yeah.
Then the Major League Baseball, then the team can decide.
Yeah. So the team can decide. Front office staff. Sometimes this is really more ownership. Will the front office staff get it? Will the sports staff, like the trainers, the grounds keepers, the scouts, the broadcasters, interns, so they can make decisions about that as to who is going to get a ring, because obviously they're expensive. So that would really come down to John Henry. He'd be like, hey, yeah, give all the groundskeepers a ring or whatever. They earned it. So the
rings are pretty expensive.
They are very expensive.
So the question is, does Alex Cora and the coaching staff, should they get a ring?
Yeah, should they get a ring? Because they were part of the Red Sox this season. They worked for the Boston Red Sox this season in some capacity before being replaced.
I'm going to say no. And I'm an Alex Cora fan.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say no because first of all, we got to throw a little bit of love out to Chad Tracy.
Yeah.
And what he's done there, because that's really gone under the radar. And he has, and I want to get to Chad Tracy at some point.
Yeah.
But he certainly has steered this ship to a place where nobody thought that they would get to.
Right.
In terms of, especially under Alex Cora, where they were at the beginning of the year. And it didn't happen right away, but there has been a philosophical switch in what the Red Sox are doing. I don't know if that was Chad Tracy's, for him doing,
right,
or upper management or whatever, but they've gotten away from the driveline stuff. They've gotten away from their hitting philosophy.
Yeah. They've
gotten away from the general management of the game that they were doing before. And we've seen them. You mentioned they play more small ball. They swing and miss less. They strike out less. They're doing a lot of things, some fundamental baseball things. That wasn't Alex Cora.
Right.
So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I don't think that group should get a ring. Nor do I think they would want one.
Well, that was the other piece. I'm in agreement with you with no. I mean, they were fired. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like Alex Cora didn't get injured.
And I'll go another step further. When they were fired, they made it very clear that they were happy to be fired.
Yes.
Thinking about the picture before they got on the jet.
Sure.
And, thank God.
I mean, one of them was Jason Varitek.
And one of them was Jason Varitek.
So
that's a tough one.
But the other piece that you were saying is that if I were Alex Cora or Jason Varitek and John Henry offered me a ring, I would politely decline it. I mean, I wasn't, I'm not part of that. That would be silly for me to accept.
You know what's going to be happening over the next 5 years? The repairing of the relationship with Jason Varitek.
Oh my gosh.
With the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be Jason Varitek days coming, Jason Varitek bobblehead days coming. All of this stuff is going to be there to
I think Jason
repair
Varitek,
that.
I was going to say Jason Varitek at some point in the future most likely will be the manager of the Red Sox. But now I think, Mike, it's pushed way out there.
Now, you have to have Sam Kennedy has to be gone. Craig Breslow has to be gone.
I mean,
and the only one
out
standing probably would be John Henry in terms of bringing back Jason Varitek, because there's no way that he goes under Breslow or Sam Kennedy. No chance at all.
No, there might be a better chance that Jason Varitek, if he were to continue coaching, might go for another team, maybe when Alex Cora is rehired somewhere.
So we're no, right?
I'm a no, and I'm a even if I were offered it, I'd say no.
So to whoever sent in that question, thank you. And if you're listening, please send in some more.
Yeah,
because we like talking about those things.
Much appreciated.
The other thing that was on my mind in terms of baseball was there was a lot of fallout with the Tara Skubal trade to the Dodgers and the lack of compensation that the Detroit Tigers got on that trade, and how the Dodgers the rich got richer.
Yeah.
Do you know the Dodgers have $1.1 billion of deferred contracts?
Yeah, the deferred trade is
$1.1 billion of deferred guys.
Yeah.
They got guys that are being paid, and Ohtani's not. They got guys being paid until 2045.
Yeah,
and Ohtani's not in that group. But
I mean, we always joke about Bobby Bonilla Day, but that Bobby Bonilla is nothing compared to what's out there.
No, and so they're obviously. We used to say the Yankees were ruining the game because they just kept because they gave Dave Winfield $2 million back in 1980.
Yeah.
So we're so far from that because the Dodgers have lapped the Yankees in terms of spending.
Yeah,
they really have. We talked about the Padres and what they were doing. Nothing is comparing to what the Dodgers are doing. But at the trade deadline, the package that the Detroit Tigers got from the Dodgers was not the best package available. There was better packages with the Brewers. I apparently put a better package together. And there was a few other teams that had one. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Red Sox put a better package in there.
Yeah.
So why would the Tigers do business with the Dodgers if that wasn't the best deal? And I think the answer is the impending work stoppage that's coming up next year. Is that, and I had read this article that this is intentional. Major League Baseball is putting forth the Dodgers as the enemy, as the model that is ruining baseball, and they're going all in with that, and they're allowing the Dodgers to do this. They're allowed, right? Not a long time ago, but a while ago, the Dodgers claimed bankruptcy, and one of the things that they got out of getting bankruptcy is that their TV deal is taxed significantly less than the other teams' TV deals, and so they're raking in money from this, and what they're doing is they're just pouring money back into the market, which is hamstringing these other teams because they can't keep up. And that Major League Baseball is doing this on purpose to show that they need a salary cap and that we need to change what we're doing. They're letting the Dodgers run wild. What say you?
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with you because the things that, and I put these down on our notes, but the things that Major League Baseball needs, they need a hard salary cap. They also have to have a meaningful salary floor. So you can't just have a high, you have to have a low. You got to figure out the revenue sharing. Like, think about all the other leagues that, not all of them, but think about the NFL with their revenue sharing. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
My understanding is that the Dodgers are on board with sharing the TV revenue.
Okay.
That they're on board with this, which tells me even more
And then-
that Major League Baseball and the Dodgers are in a little cahoots on
Here's
this.
my other piece that you've already mentioned is there need to be limits on deferred compensation. You can't just say, Mike, I'm going to sign you for $400 billion and pay you over the next 200 years. There needs to be a limit on deferred compensation, because if you can't have a limit, then what's to stop teams like the Dodgers from just saying, okay, we're going to sign.
So they put in a salary cap. Let's say they put in a salary cap. All that deferred money it would get, that would go against the salary cap.
It would.
So, but again, there might be something bigger going on here. How
How are you going to get the player? That's the bigger question, is how are you going to get the players on board with the salary cap?
You're not. That's why there's going to be a work stoppage.
Yeah.
That's exactly why there's going to be a work
Right.
stoppage. But I think it's inevitable that there's going to be some form of salary cap. I don't think they're going to go down the luxury tax road that the NBA is going on. I think they're going to try to get something more towards what the NHL has, that hard cap.
Mhm.
That's probably a big ask. If I were the Players Association, I would not be fighting the cap. I would be fighting the type of cap. And I would be going down that road, because we are not seeing baseball again until there's some form of a cap.
No, it could be a couple of years.
It could be a couple of years. This has been brewing for when was the last agreement? 2020, dog? The last agreement?
2022.
2022. So it was a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a big one. Get ready for no baseball next year, because Major League Baseball seems to be putting their ducks in a row right now
Mhm.
and getting all of the teams on board. It used to be the big markets didn't want anything to do with the salary cap, didn't want anything to do with revenue sharing, because they were making all this money.
Right.
Now you're seeing John Henry all of a sudden act like more like a mid-market team. I wonder why.
Mhm.
Because that's what's coming. And then you get this Dodgers. Even the Yankees aren't spending the way they used to spend.
No, that's
So,
Dodgers are out of control.
dog, is a cap coming?
Yes. Didn't think it was going to, but after this little Scooble affair and the amount of peanuts that the Tigers received, because as you mentioned, the Brewers and the Tampa Bay Rays offered a lot more, a cap's coming.
Cap's coming.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right more. Mike and the Hoss. Welcome back to Mike and the Hoss. Mike Dene, Charlie Hossack here with you on the Pulse of New Hampshire. We are talking sports, and I know we've talked a lot of Red Sox already, or baseball. They deserve it.
Yeah, they do.
They deserve it, and I think they deserve our time. And we came up with our predictions at the beginning of the year about we had 81 games, 86 games, that kind of stuff. And I think it's fair to adjust those predictions.
Mhm.
What they're doing is historical. So as of Thursday, I didn't put the numbers back before Thursday, but I mean after Thursday, but they're 30-5 in their last 35 games.
Yeah.
30-5 in their last 35 games. This was as of Thursday, and there's only a very small handful of teams that are in that world.
Right.
Unfortunately, not a lot of them have won the World Series. So there's not a correlation there. But when you turn on that game, do you have a different feeling now watching the game, that it's not how are they going to lose this game? It's how are they going to figure out to win this game?
Right. Yeah. No, it's a completely different feeling. I mean, watching the games now, it's like, oh, I mean, I have to say, watching the games now, it's like, how much are they going to win by?
Yeah.
And it's just, how are they going to win? How many home runs are they going to hit?
I had a phone call from my friend Parker the other day, and he's as big of a Red Sox fan as there has ever been. He gets season tickets, all that stuff, and we were talking about it, and we kind of the philosophy that they changed, the bunt guys over.
Yeah.
Let's not strike out. Let's just put the ball in play.
Put it in
And
play.
you've seen like Wilson Contreras, who's I think a great example. On the first two strikes, he is swinging for the fence is an understatement what he swings for.
Yes. And then he goes contact.
And then he goes contact.
Yeah.
This is your biggest power hitter who's trying to just make contact and not strike out. This is what we teach in high school, in middle school.
Right.
Choke up, make contact, make the other
put
team
the ball
feel
in
the
play.
ball.
Yeah.
And you're seeing them do that. And so we have to talk about Chad Tracy.
Mhm.
Right now, he still has the interim tag on there.
Yeah.
When does that come off?
I don't think it comes off until the end of the season. I think he lives with it for the rest of the season, which is, and I don't think he's happy about it either. I mean, nobody wants an interim tag in front of their title.
Do you think that they're going to, let's say they keep going, they don't win the World Series, but they make it to the playoffs and they do whatever in the playoffs. do you think it's an automatic that he is?
I think it's
extended?
because of the historic turnaround as to what's happened under Chad Tracy, the direction that the current Red Sox are going. Unless you know, in the last half of the season here, unless there's a monumental collapse by the Red Sox, which it doesn't appear there's going to be, then I think Chad Tracy has earned the right to be the Red Sox manager. Drop the interim.
All right. Is Craig Breslow come back? Because I'm going to connect it to Tracy in a second. Is Craig Breslow come back next
Well,
year?
I think if Craig Breslow doesn't come back, then Chad Tracy's job is in more jeopardy than it is now. I think if Craig Breslow returns, I think he keeps Chad Tracy.
Interesting. Chad Tracy's not a Breslow guy. He came up from Worcester.
Yeah.
And he's in the Worcester Hall of Fame for managers,
Yeah.
which is
The
I
Woo
think,
Sox.
which is, you know, he was down there for 10 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't
He
like
put his time in,
it
sure.
wasn't just you know, a cup of coffee there.
Yeah.
He was there for 10 years.
Yeah.
So he's a very seasoned and experienced manager. You know what he's not in? He's not in the news. He doesn't have sound bites. He doesn't have any sound bites at all. He's, you know, just he tells what happens in the game and then he moves on and that's it. It's flatline.
He
There's
actually,
nothing.
I was going to say, he treats the Red Sox. He doesn't. I don't think he's realized yet that he's in the big leagues because he treats it like he would after a Woo Sox game.
Yeah,
You know, and that's, you know, and that's what he does because that's what he knows. That's what he's been doing. And I think that benefits him. It's nice that there's like no drama. There are no sound bites. It's just here it is. And it kind of tells it like it is. And that's
I think
that.
there's a better chance that Chad Tracy comes back than Craig Breslow.
Okay.
I do. I think that the frustration that happened. I mean, the Red Sox, this historic run that they have coming back from where they were is because of Craig Breslow and the team that he put together and
Yeah.
the pieces that he put together.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of fell in some of the other stuff
Mhm.
that's there, but you know, ultimately it was Craig Breslow's team that was historically bad.
Yeah.
And it's now Craig Breslow's team that's historically good.
Yeah.
So where's the middle?
Yeah, I think the middle is that I think if the Red Sox make the playoffs, I think everything, because that's a John Henry thing. Like, you know, make the playoffs and we're just going to keep everything status quo.
I don't know if John Henry can handle the roller coaster that this team was on at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And the negative press that they got at the beginning of the year.
I think here's the funny thing. I don't even at Fenway recently, but they're still saying sell the team.
Really?
You know, sell, you know, for John Henry, sell the team. Even, you know, win the World Series, just sell the team. They want John Henry out, which is kind of funny. But
Turning the page to the Patriots training camp.
ooh, little NFL.
We have spent very little time talking about it.
Mm.
And because there's really not much going on from Patriots training camp. AJ Brown looks good. Drake May looks good. Christian Gonzalez is still not signed.
Kayshon Boutte.
Kayshon Boutte looks great.
Yeah.
Will Campbell looks really good.
Yeah.
You
Mac
know,
Hollins. I like Mac Hollins. He had a good interview the other day.
It's just it, but there's not really any drama coming out of there.
No.
There's still in the Diana Rossini thing it seems to be over.
Yeah.
So that's not being talked about. Where we thought it was going to be like as the world turns training camp when it started, and it's not that at all. Is this good or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. And I think one of the predictions, we've talked about this. I think looking at the Patriots, I think the Patriots are going to be a much better team this year with a significantly worse record.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think they're a much better team right now.
Yeah.
And we're I think Dog had him at 9. I was 10. You were 11.
Yeah. So, I don't see this team returning to the Super Bowl, but I think it's a better team.
You mentioned Stephen A. Smith earlier
Yeah.
for a different reason. He had a rant about how the Patriots rode the easiest schedule that anybody has ever really
Right,
played,
yeah.
If you include the playoffs, to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that is not going to be happening this year. They're not sneaking up on anybody this year.
No.
It's going to be a rough road every single week. And I think our predictions, 9, 10, 11, I think are good predictions. We're going to really see what kind of quarterback Drake May is.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I had said before, I think this is his breakout season. I hope it is, but I think it will be his breakout season, especially with an improved offensive line. and a receiving core that looks like a receiving core. Like
For the first time in a long time. And I mean, I would go back to, basically 07.
With Brady.
When you had Moss and Welker and Stallworth and the Givens and, that whole crew.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, again, instead of the bunch of number 3 receivers out there,
Right.
which is really what you kind of had.
Mhm.
Stephon Diggs is not coming back. He signed with the Commanders.
Yeah.
So that's too bad. But
Yeah. But you didn't, I don't know, the drama that he would bring. I don't know if we needed that.
do you need drama? Do you need a little bit of drama in that world?
I mean, you probably need a little bit of drama, but I don't know. Maybe AJ Brown will give us some drama.
That's true. That's true. You're going to
Yeah.
be reading books on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Do you need drama, dog? Does a team need a little bit of drama to keep the blood boiling?
Yes, just not to the point where it becomes a distraction. That's all.
Yeah. That's a
All
good point.
We're going to play a game when we come back, sort of. We're going to be setting up records that may never be broken.
Okay. And this is setting up for our Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore, which is going to happen in next week's show. So we'll be right back with more Mike and the Hoss. All right, welcome back to Mike and the Hoss. Our fourth and final segment is exclusively brought to us by Maine Love Water.
Maine Love Water and seltzers are sourced from pristine Maine waters, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste in every can. Next time you reach for canned water or seltzer, choose Maine Love. Thank you, Maine Love.
So in next week's show, we're going to do the Mount Rushmore of unbreakable records. I mean, we've done a lot of Mount Rushmores, but we have not done this one.
Right.
And so to set that up, I've got a little kind of a mini game, and I'll explain where this came from. I ran across this post, dog, not a tweet, it's a post. And it said, it was just simple. It said a player could get a hit in all 162 games for 26 straight years and still be 44 hits behind Pete Rose.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Okay. And that's kind of an outrageous record, right?
Outrageous. Yeah.
And so I'm going to read, and I have a whole bunch of them. There's no chance we're going to get to all of them. But I'm going to read these, and you're going to compare it to the Pete Rose one. We're just going to keep pairing to Pete Rose.
Yeah.
And
because I mean,
and you're going to tell me
you've kind of planted that we're probably going to have Pete Rose on our Mount Rushmore.
I don't know if I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that at all.
All right. Okay.
I'm not saying that at all. I know there's one on here that I'm probably going to have on.
I know.
All right.
Maybe Cal Ripken.
This is Wayne Gretzky.
Okay. Wayne Gretzky.
If you took away every single one of Wayne Gretzky's 894 career goals,
Oh,
he would still be the NHL's all-time leading point scorer.
wow.
Took away every goal.
Wow.
He would still be the all-time leading point scorer. Is that more unbreakable? So you're going to tell me either Rose or Gretzky. Which one is more unbreakable, Rose or Gretzky? And you got to choose.
I'm gonna choose. I have to think about it. I'm on the radio, so I can't be quiet about
No,
this.
you can't.
So I'm still gonna go with that's still on Wayne Gretzky, unbelievable, taking away 894 goals. But those hits, I'm still gonna go Pete Rose.
Pete Rose is more unbreakable. Dog?
Gretzky, because again, these players are just, I mean, I know that both of the games have changed, but just think about that. Take away the goals. Look at the amount of assists that Gretzky was able to achieve all those years.
He's 1,000 points ahead of second place. I mean, it's not.
That's not gonna ever be broken.
It's not going to be there. So I'm Gretzky too. All right, Cy Young. Cy Young, and we're gonna compare to Rose to this.
Yeah.
Cy Young holds the Major League Baseball record for most career wins at 511. To break it, a pitcher would have to win 20 games a season for 25 consecutive years, and they'd still be 11 wins short.
So definitely for me, Mike. Definitely.
Is it Rose or Cy Young?
It's definitely Cy Young because look at the current game. I mean, you can barely get Major League Baseball pitchers, to win 20 games, let alone do it consistently season after season after season. So Cy Young on that one.
Dog?
Cy Young.
Cy Young.
Yeah.
2 for 2. All right. Ricky Henderson.
Oh,
He
love him.
stole 1,406 bases in his career. That's the equivalent of 24 miles if you're keeping track. If a player stole 50 bases a year, that would lead the league.
Yeah.
For 20 straight years, they would still be 406 steals behind him.
Yeah. I'm going Ricky Henderson. I mean, nobody's beaten Pete Rose's record, but Ricky Henderson in this one. It's just you don't have base steals like that with the longevity. 20 years, Mike. I mean, sometimes you don't have baseball players that play 20 years in the league.
I understand that.
So yeah.
Henderson or Rose, dog?
Ricky Henderson, stolen bases are a lost art. So this just makes Ricky Henderson even better.
Yeah.
All right. Here's an interesting one for you. In 1961 and 62, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 48.5 minutes per game. Now, the official NBA game is only 48 minutes long, but he played every minute of every game, including overtimes, and he only missed 8 minutes total the entire season because he was ejected. He literally averaged more than a full game per night. Is that going to get broken, or is Pete Rose going to get broken?
I think Pete Rose would get broken before Wilt Chamberlain's record. These prima donna players are not going to be out there playing 48 minutes, let alone 48.5 minutes. Dog.
Wilt the Stilt. This is why you have a bench, so you don't become like Wilt the Stilt.
Yeah. So already Pete Rose, theoretically, he's gone on our Mount Rushmore.
Theoretically, yeah.
All right, Brett Favre, Ironman record of 297 consecutive regular season starts at quarterback, lasted for 18 years. During that streak, 828 different quarterbacks started a game for the other 31 NFL teams. Pete Rose or Brett Favre?
Probably Brett Favre.
Nobody's going to do that?
I don't think anybody's going to do that.
Dog?
No one's going to do that because of the additional amount of games, because there's going to be an 18-game season. So now the coaches are going to rest their players. Plus, you thought a guy like Mahomes was going to start a whole bunch of games. Well, Mahomes got hurt towards the end of the season too when the Chiefs were out of it. So even then.
Cal Ripken Jr., you knew this was coming. 2,632 consecutive games over 16 years. During the streak, he played through breaks and so on. To break his record today, a player would have to play all 162 games a year from their rookie season until age 38 without taking a single game off.
And nobody's breaking Cal Ripken's record.
So far, we're almost unanimous that Pete Rose's record is more likely to get broken.
Yeah, which is crazy because that's not going to get broken. We're going to have a Mount Rushmore of like 25 heads.
Dog, you want to jump in on that?
Ripken, however, Matty Olson, he just passed Stan the Man Musial for games in a row played. However, here's the caveat with that. He has to play he has to play until 2037 or 2038 to even get to Ripken. So he's got a long way to go to get to Cal. He's not going to.
No. Steph Curry. Steph Curry holds the NBA record for the most career three-pointers. To break his record, you would have to play all 82 games and make 4 3-pointers every single night and do that for 11 full seasons to break his record.
I'm actually going to switch here. I mean, I still think that's not a breakable record, but I think Pete Rose's is more intact. I mean, I don't think anyone's beating the Steph Curry record either, but I think I'm going to go with Pete Rose on this one.
Dog?
I'll go with Steph because, again, the three-point shot, he's the greatest three-point artist in the history of the game. Somebody has to surpass that. I don't think anyone's going to do that, even remotely close.
Speaking of Steph Curry, maybe to the Celtics, wouldn't that be interesting?
Buzz. That's a little buzz, and
we'll see.
I mean, he had dinner with Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
He's played golf on Martha's Vineyard with who did he play with down there? Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And was Brady down there?
I'm not sure.
I don't know which one it was, but
Tom Brady.
Okay. I go with Tom Brady one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it doesn't necessarily fit in. You'll appreciate this, Dog, because this is going to be our last one. He would be in the Hall of Fame in his 20s, his 30s, and his 40s.
Tom Brady.
In his 20s, 3 Super Bowls, 4 appearances. In his 30s, 2 Super Bowls, 4 appearances, 2 MVPs. In his 40s, 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and 1 MVP. Each one would be a Hall of Fame career.
I do love TB12.
I know. I thought I'd end on that. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week for more Mike in the House.